is it so hard to let you go? You go. Is it so hard to let you go?
to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see.
Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth round of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Elite Series Tier 1 League. My name is Lachlan and I'll be your commentator again for tonight's race. Tonight is going to be a cracking race. Let's have a quick look now at your track map as we are at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, 4.655 kilometers, 2.892 miles, 16 turns around this racetrack. One of the older circuits that we have been using and one of the oldest circuits actually on the calendar. So let's have a quick look now as you've just seen there the track map. Let's have a quick look at your championship standings heading into this round. As you can see, GeForce Crichton still leads away at the moment. He's got a 22-point gap over his rival of XX2 Wogboy in that racing point car. Then it is Swaggy in position 3 for the McLaren team, leading FRL Ginger in position 4, who's currently on 27 points. And exactly on the same points as him is GeForce Aaron and that Red Bull behind him in P5. NSX Fruitful P6. P7 is the Mercedes of GeForce Ford. He's currently on 22 points. Then it's Spilly and then the two Williams of GeForce Crossy and Gaming Burger 36. Now I'll have a quick look now at your top from 11th to 20th. As you can see, FRL Chapelele currently in position 8 at the moment. Hasn't been the best of starts for the Renault driver. Let's see if he can capitalise here tonight. GeForce TP in position 12 for the AlphaTauri team. Then it's Stompalainen, GeForce Todd, Giannis, Miku, Sharud Gaming, Wafer, Zentricity TV, and then Nunny, the reserve driver. Rounds out your grid there. As you can see, let's have a quick look now at your constructor standings. As you can see, Mercedes lead the way at the moment, 82 points. They have a little bit of a lead over the Racing Point team in position 2. Then it's McLaren in 3rd, 2 points ahead of the Renault F1 team in 4th. Red Bull P5, P6 is the Williams team. P7 is the Alfa Romeo, leading AlphaTauri in position 8 for 4 points. Then Ferrari down at P9 on 4 points as well. And then unfortunately Haas has not scored a point yet this season. Let's go over to the main screen now. Well, hopefully it does decide to show up. Quickly fix this up, sorry. There you go. So you guys should be able to see the screen now. I'll bring up some audio for you guys so you guys can hear them. There you go. We'll head over to the main screen now, as you can see. So let's have a look. So a few drivers have already set a lap time in this session. GeForce Giannis currently sits on pole position for the McLaren F1 team on a 14.469. Really quick time straight off the bat. Then it's GeForce Todd in position 2 on a 14.8. So about 0.4 of a second separating those two as it stands. It's Miku in position 3 at the moment for Alfa Romeo. Let's see how he goes and if he's able to hold on to that. Obviously, he's at a 14.896, 1/100th exactly behind the Red Bull of GeForce Todd. So might be a little battle there between those two. Sharu in position 4 at the moment for AlphaTauri on a 15.3, and then on a 23.3, a fair way off the base at the moment is the Gaming Wave. So hopefully, I believe that would have just been a little mistake there from himself. He's probably half done a lap and he's just finished it for the sake of finishing it. But Wogboy are still in the pits. Aaron and Zentricity coming out of the pit lane now as well. Aaron about to start a lap. He's heading through the final, or he's about to cross over into the final sector now. Zentricity in the same boat. Try and find someone that's on a lap. Looks like GeForce Swaggy's on a lap. Let's try to ball with him. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him though, Miku, so hopefully they both get out of the way, but Swaggy obstacle into the pit lane. Didn't see any point in completing that lap. We've also got Pure Gold in here as well today, filling in as a reserve driver, and then I believe Sharu as well, maybe. Who's the other reserve? I don't know. I thought there was 2 reserves, but anyway. Yeah, Pure Gold is one of the reserves, so he'll be filling in for Ferrari here this afternoon. Got some Toddy fans in the chat again. Welcome, guys. Try and find someone in a lap. GeForce Ford's on a lap. Let's have a look at how that Mercedes driver's going. He's heading through the middle sector at the moment. About to cross over into the final sector. We'll get a little reading on what his delta's like. He's 27 seconds up on his time, so that's looking good there so far for Mercedes driver. Gets a little bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 10. Up to the final sector now, through the narrowest part of the circuit. Final chicane now through the final corner. Goes the Mercedes driver of G-Force Ford. A couple of times been set now, but he comes up to the line. And the Mercedes driver slots into position 3 on a 14.625. So nice lap there from himself. But Crichton's also now gone to pole position on a 14.30. Sorry, 4.30. Sorry, 4.30 there for G-Force Crichton and Mercedes. So currently Giannis splits both the Mercedes. He is now starting his second flying lap of the session, but Ford in position 3 at the moment as we just watched him heading through the final sector. G-Force Todd currently in position 4 on a 14.886. Let's see what he's able to do this afternoon. As Chapelele also in a P6 and FRL Ginger up into P7 for Alfa Romeo. Not the best of laps so far from himself, only a 15.2. I'm expecting him, if anything, him and Chapelele to get up there a bit later. Obviously Chapelele really, really good at one lap pace. He's done that a few times already. I believe last season as well. Or the last couple of races, we've seen him do one-lap shootouts pretty much in the qualifying session and get up really, really high in the timing sheets. So let's see what he's able to do here this afternoon. Sharu's on an outlap at the moment. Let's go back to Giannis, because he'll be coming towards the end of his lap. He's heading through the middle sector, about to get a reading. See what his delta is. He's a 10th up on his time at the moment, so if he can continue on with this, he will go up into provisional pole. He didn't get the best of turn 10s there. He runs a little bit wide through there though, which is going to cost him a few hundredths of a second. Final chicane now through the penultimate corners. Through the final corner now goes the McLaren driver. What can he do? He comes up to the line, opens the DRS nice and wide, and he takes pole position on a 14.354. So he goes about 8 tenths faster than A100's faster than G-Force Crichton in that Mercedes car. G-Force Todd in an outlap, so is Miku, Chapelele, all in the same boat. And try and find someone that's on a lap. Looks like Wild Boy's on a lap. Let's go on board with the man currently sitting in position 2 in the driver's standings, keeping it narrow there through turn 3, heading up to turn 4, braking just around that Pirelli board, or the Pirelli walkover, crossover. Keeping it to the right-hand side of the track there. Minimising that track distance, but he's now going through this left kinky. You don't want to hit the apex there, because you want to be preferencing this next corner. It's very easy to invalidate off the edge there as well. If you hit that little sausage curb on the exit of that corner, you will invalidate. And also, if you do that, like Rogboy just said, he is now invalidated on his time by corner cutting turn 9. So, unfortunately for himself, that's going to hurt him a little bit, and he won't be too pleased with that. It's just throwing away a set of tyres, unfortunately. Fruitful's on a lap at the moment. No, he's actually backed out, so he may have just finished a lap, actually, I believe. Sharu's on a lap there. Let's keep on board with the Alpha Tauri drivers. He's heading through the final sector now. Oh, he's invalidated now, unfortunately, Sharu, so that's his lap done. G-Force Todd's on a lap. Let's go on board with Toddy as he heads through the middle sector. He might get a little toe off the gaming over there, but now heading into the hairpin. 100-meter board, slight lock up there. It still does get to the apex. A little bit of oversteer on exit. Slid the car into that corner. It's not really the ideal line to take, but heading to the final sector now goes Todd. Where can he put this Red Bull? Not too sure what his delta is at the moment, but he's coming through the final corner now. Where can G-Force Todd go? Can he move up any positions? He's derating at the moment, but he now doesn't improve, actually. He goes 7/1000 slower than his previous time, so Todd's going to hold on to position 5 for the moment. He will most likely get back around to set another lap time, but he's going to have to push pretty hard as well. You can see he's running off the racetrack there. Try and find someone else that's on a lap. Gaming Wafer looks like he's on a lap. The Haas F1 team, can Haas score their first points here this afternoon? I'm sure they would love to do that, because they haven't scored any points yet this season, if I'm correct. You can see him now heading through the middle sector, about to get a delta reading here for you. He's about a 10th up on his time. I'm not too sure. I think that might be a little bit of a glitch. It's now G-Force Swaggy onto pole position on a 14.262. He's gone 9/100ths faster than his teammate. believe someone else just also jumped up. Pure Gold's in P5 at the moment, so he's doing a really good job with Pure Gold. But G4 Swaggy, man of the moment, as you can see, currently sitting on pole position. It's currently a McLaren 1-2 and then a Mercedes 3-4. Let's see what those two teams can do. Obviously, they are the front runners, or some of the front runners this season anyway. As it's currently in the constructor standings, it is Mercedes that have the edge over everyone else, but Racing Point splits the McLaren team and the Mercedes team, so let's see what they can do here this afternoon. This would be a great haul of points for them if they can do this, but Giannis is now starting most likely one of his final runs, if not his final run. The DRS nice and open now. Giannis really good at one lap pace, so let's see what the McLaren driver can do. Heading up into turn 1, braking around the 60 meter board, 55 meters. Now you just clip that apex curb, but you want to keep it tight to minimize the track distance. You also don't want to scrub off too much speed as well. As now Crichton and Ford, both the Mercedes drivers have now pushed Giannis down. So can Giannis respond to that? They weren't able to jump ahead of Swaggy though. So Swaggy's on a really good lap here. He's currently holding on by about 1/100th of a second over G-Force Crichton. You can see G-Force Crichton's teammate though, Ford, really a little bit off the pace if you compare it to the gap that Swaggy and Crichton has. But we're going to get a little reading here of Giannis' delta. He's about a 10th up, so Giannis on a really good lap so far. This is going to be mega close between himself and his teammate. He's heading through the final sector now. Let's see what Giannis can do. Final corners now, final chicane. Penultimate corner, and now up to the final corner, flat out in a modern day F1 car. What can Giannis do? Comes up to the line, opens the RS, and he goes to pole position, a 14.117. Nice lap there from the McLaren driver. He jumps ahead of his teammate. Obviously, Crichton and Ford will be able to get back around to do another lap, hopefully. So let's see if they have anything to respond with here this afternoon. But it's currently a McLaren 1-2 at the moment, ahead of a Mercedes 3-4. So it's a front row lockout for McLaren and a second row lockout for Mercedes. Pure Gold doing a really good job at the moment. The Tier 1 reserve driver in position 5 at the moment. P6 is Aaron leading his teammate Toddy. So Pure Gold kind of stopping it at the moment from being a McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull. But I don't think he will really care. If anything, he's heading through the final sector now as Pure Gold. Can he improve on his time? Or is he coming to the pits? No, he does come to the pits. So he's going to try and put on a new set of tyres and go again in this session. Let me know some predictions in the live chat. Giannis comes out of the pits now. Oh, he's actually now coming into the pits, sorry. So he'll be alright to get back round. You can see Sharu is on an out lap at the moment. He just got out of the way of the driver, so he's going to be starting a flying lap now. Chapelele is also on an out lap. So let's see what the Renault driver can do. Can he get onto the front row? His teammates just jumped up into position 5 as well on a 14.7 on the mediums. That is a rapid time on the medium tyre. That's very surprising, and that's actually going to be really, really good for Fruitful, because ideal strategy is to start on the mediums. It is 100% quicker to start on the mediums and go to the hards in the end. But Fruitful now 14.796 on the mediums. That is a really good lap time from himself, but looks like both Renaults are going for that strategy here, because obviously Chapelele on the mediums at the moment would have selected the harder tyre strategy at the beginning of the session. He's going again on the medium, so let's see what he can do if he can get himself up into the top 10, because that is ideal. As obviously I think if you start P11, that's a little bit more ideal, but obviously track position will be a little bit more in your favour. I'm sure the drivers wouldn't care to hand over a little bit of tyre wear, but he comes up now to the sector line. He's a 10th up, nearly 2 tenths, so he's looking for potentially around his teammate here is Chapelele. If he can improve on his time a bit here, he'll be around his teammate in P5 on the medium tyre. That will give both the Renaults a massive advantage over absolutely everyone else, but he's got a little bit of oversteer there, heading through the final sector. coming up to the line. He goes P5 now. Chapelele on his second lap, actually, on that set of tyres. So that's probably not ideal for him, but he's gone P5. That is a really, really good time on the mediums. That has put both the Renaults in the hot seat at the moment for potentially winning this race already. And we're in qualifying. The race hasn't even started, but it's given them such an advantage if they can hold on to that top 10. As you can see, absolutely everyone is coming out of the pits at the moment. Gaming Wave is going to be one of the first drivers to set their final lap. Will start their final lap. Sharu in the same boat. Sharu looks like he's already on a lap. Let's keep on board with the AlphaTauri drivers as we head through the middle sector. There's a lot of curb there. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him who hopefully will get out of the way. Janus getting out of the way, and the other McLaren of Swaggy. Oh, he's run hot here is Sharu. That's not going to be ideal for him. And Zentricity's jumped up to P5 now as well for Haas. A great lap there from the Haas driver. Got to find someone else. Zentricity's finished the lap, so was Chapelele. Todd's now heading through the second sector. We'll have to come back to him, but Sharu now coming up to the line. Can he improve on his time? He does, but unfortunately not enough to jump up any positions. Gaming Wafer heading through the final sector now. Let's see what he's able to do. Can the Haas driver get himself up into the top 10? Be a great result here for the Haas F1 team. Opening DRS nice and wide, and Gaming Wafer unable to get himself up into the top 10. Let's go up to our front runners at the moment. As you can see, them all heading through the final sector. GeForce Crossing now is heading through the final sector. Let's go. Actually, no. We're going to go on board with Todd because he's first up in line. Todd coming through the final corner now. Opens DRS nice and wide. Can he go up and into the top 6? Yes, he does. He goes P6. 14.704 for the Red Bull driver. About 2/10 of a second off Todd. But Crossy now up into P5 for Williams on a 14.385. Just marginally slower than Ford. But let's go to our leaders here. As you can see, Crichton heading through the final sector now. Let's see what he can do. He's coming up through the final corner now. Can Crichton go to pole position and take both the McLaren's off it? No, he cannot. He only manages P2 on a 14.2 in the end. What can Swaggy do? Can he improve on his time? Coming up to the line, he only manages P2. He pushes Zach Crichton back down. Can Giannis improve on his time? Yeah, no, he can't actually. So it's all down to Ford now, and Ford can't do anything about it. So it's going to be a McLaren front row lockout here for the Spanish Grand Prix, and then it will be a Mercedes 3-4. So front row locked out by McLaren, second row locked out by Mercedes. Really good job there from both those teams. GeForce Crossy, really good lap there in the end. Got himself up into the top 5 for Williams. Great result there from himself. As you can see, it is a GeForce top 5 as well, if you haven't realised. Zentricity in position 6 as well. Great lap there from the Haas driver, and Pure Gold in position 7 in the reserve driver there. Just got himself into the 1 minute 14.4s. So great lap there from the Ferrari driver. We'll quickly have a look in a second at your provisional results. We read out the top 7 there. Wogboy only managed P8 there. The man currently sitting in position 2 in the driver's standings. He'll be looking to improve on his time. FRL Ginger in position 9, and then rounding out your top 10, GeForce Todd. But look here, both Renaults, obviously, unfortunately, both didn't get in the top 10 where I think they would have liked to, but they're P11 and P12, and they will have free choice of tyres. So I think they will be really, really happy with that. I think they won't be complaining. But we'll be back with you shortly for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. Let me know some predictions in the live chat, and we'll be back with you shortly. As you guys can see on your screens now, the drivers have started their formation lap here for the Spanish Grand Prix. 33 laps they will have to battle it out for the Spanish Grand Prix trophy. Sorry, give me 1 second. Just grab my controller. Here we go. So, quick little recap of the qualifying session that just happened. Giannis took pole position to make it a McLaren 1-2, the first of the season, and I believe one of the first. I think it might actually be the first in the whole season on the whole series of Elite Series. So really good job there from Giannis and Swaggy. They lock out the front row. Sorry. Then it is a Mercedes second row lockout of Crichton and Ford. Crichton having that advantage. He will be, I think, starting on the cleaner side of the grid. We'll have to see though. GeForce Crossy, really good lap in the end there from himself, getting himself up into the top 5. He has shown glimpses of his pace here this season. Obviously had that really good run at the Australian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, the other rounds at Netherlands and Bahrain really didn't work out for him, but let's see if he can turn that around here this afternoon. Zentricity in position 6 for Haas. Let's see if they can get their first points on the board here this season. Pure Gold in position 7, ahead of Wogboy, FRL Ginger, Todd in position 10. Then both the Renaults who are going to be ones to watch. Look at this, they're both starting on hards. That's interesting, so they know something that we don't. Aaron in the same boat. Miku starting on the mediums, so is Gaming Wafer and Sharu. But let's have a quick look now as the drivers are forming up on the grid. Give you guys a little insight here. Thankfully donated, not donated, that's the wrong word, made by GeForce Crossy. Here's a little comparison chart here for both the Mercedes drivers of Crichton and Ford. Obviously qualifying 3-0 here, but we're actually starting the race now. I do apologise. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. And it is lights out for us, but maybe not on their screen, so we'll be waiting a second. And there you go, lights out, and we are now underway for the Spanish Grand Prix. Great start there from Giannis. He moves ahead of his teammate as they have the run down to turn 1. Crichton going to try and go around the outside of that second McLaren. He's not able to do it. Swaggy holds on, and it's still a McLaren 1-2. Oh, look at that. Ford got pushed out wide there by his teammate. He's now vulnerable to Crossy. Can he do something? That dirty air really wasn't helping him. Heading through that long right-hander turn 3 and off in the gravel there is Sharu. Down in the back, but we're going to keep with this battle at the front because look at this. Both McLarens battling it out at the moment. Is Swaggy going to dive down the inside? There's yellow flag. Chapelele's left the session. Really bad start there for the Renault driver, and unfortunately he's now dropped down to position 16. Chapelele's pretty much out of this race. He was in one of the hot seats, I reckon, to potentially have a chance at winning, but unfortunately that's not worked out for him. So now there's only one Renault remaining in this race at this stage. We'll bring up some more telemetry for you guys here, but the top 4 have not changed. Centricity's jumped up into the top 5 ahead of Crossy. Any other moves happening at the back here? Look at this, the Red Bull and the harsh driver of GeForce Aaron and Gaming Wafer side by side through the final sector, and Aaron comes out on top. You can see Ginger's up in position, up in a P8. Wogboy's down in position in P9, and Todd's still holding on to position 10. Fruitful up a spot, obviously, since his teammates dropped back, but he's now got a really good run here on Todd. Can he make a move heading into the first turn? Doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment. He doesn't really need a push. He is on the medium tire. Look at that. Down the inside goes the Gaming Wafer and pushes Aaron off the circuit. Aaron rejoins the circuit, but he's going to keep fighting. Aaron trying to hang it around the outside. Let's ride on board with Miku, who in theory has the best seat in the house. Gaming Wafer runs wide. He locks the inside front brake there, which has hurt him a little bit. But this is not what these medium runners and hard runners need to be battling. They need to be trying to keep as close as possible to these soft runners, so when their tires start to die off, they can take or capitalize on them. Giannis now trying to pull a gap out on his teammate of Swaggy's 7/10 of a second at the moment between them. He needs to make sure he stays within DRS range as well. GeForce Crichton now in position 3 at the moment, trying to keep with those 2 McLarens, and it is GeForce Crichton's teammate of GeForce Ford in position 4. Zentricity P5, and then Crossy down a spot in position 6. He's lost the position to the harsh driver, who looks like he's got a lot of pace at the moment, has Zentricity. So let's see what he can do if he can hold on to this position, stay with those front runners. We've got a few people in the chat. We've got a few predictions here from Reese Andrews. Toddy, why is that due to being on OnlyFans and Bruce walks in the room and knocks him out? Okay, we'll move on from that. Anyway, Amazing Al reckons Giannis P1, Zach P2, and 4 P3. So he reckons that potentially Swaggy's going to drop down a little bit here. Obviously, we need to remember as well, Swaggy has never had a league race win in his career. So Swaggy will be taking any chances he can. He's come close many times, and unfortunately, he's just had such bad luck when it comes to actually converting it to a win. So one ready to finish on the podium at least. Yeah, I do agree with you there, Andre. Currently on lap 3 of 33, so there's 30 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. Both McLarens trying to edge away from those two Mercedes. Ford looks like he's had a little bit of more luck than what he has at the start of the race, or compared to what he has in a few of the previous races. Still within DRS range of his teammate, GeForce Crichton, who's only just within Actually, no, he's not. Crichton's out of DRS range now to both the McLaren, so they both edged out a gap now, so they need to work with each other here and try and pull out a further gap to the Mercedes team. There's Zentricity within DRS range at the moment. He's just within the DRS range of the Mercedes driver, but Crossy there's there as well, trying to take any advantages that he can. Really close between all our drivers at the moment, or all these drivers. You can see the train of cars at the moment heading down the back straight. No one really out of this race at the moment. Chapelele's disconnected, but fortunately it looks like his race is pretty much done and dusted here this afternoon for the Spanish Grand Prix. As the drivers are about to start lap 5 of the Grand Prix, Crichton's got himself back comfortably within DRS range. Not really comfortably, but he's closer in DRS range than what he was before. Ford's actually dropped off a bit here. He needs to use a bit of his overtake button to catch back up. But look at this, Crichton now putting pressure on Swaggy. These drivers battling it out as hard as possible. I believe pit lap for these soft runners will be lap 7 till 9. We'll see the drivers coming in, putting on some fresh hard tyres. But obviously the medium runners, I believe, will go to around lap 13, 14. The hard runners, I'm not too sure, unfortunately. We'll have to see how long they last. But look at this battle now. Aaron, zero pace at the moment in that Red Bull car. Currently down in position 15, so that is not where that Red Bull driver wants or needs to be. As pure gold now, round the outside of GeForce Crossing. It looks like he's got the move done, up into position 6. The reserve driver in that Ferrari filling in this weekend has now got himself up into position 6. Great move there from himself. I believe he went around the outside if I'm correct, but he's now up ahead of GeForce Crossy. FO Real Ginger in position 8 as well. And watching here, Fruitful, as you can see, he's still holding onto the back of this train, but these tyres are going to start to come to him a little bit later on in this race. He won't be expecting too much at this stage. He'll be going onto that medium tyre very late in the race. Really potentially around lap, I reckon lap 22, 23. Yeah, around that lap 20, I reckon from lap 20 to 24 we'll see NSX Fruitful coming into the pit lane. Front wing damage for Aaron potentially. Or look at this, more battling here between Ginger and Crossy though. We'll go back to that in a minute, and it looks like Alfa Romeo has now jumped ahead of the Williams team. We'll go back to Aaron here. Try and see if he has any damage. Doesn't look like it at the moment. So just doesn't have the pace in that Red Bull, I believe. Close look here. No, it looks fine. So yeah, not too sure about that. Amazing Al. Not looking too promising for him. Yes, both McLarens are looking really strong at the moment. Let's see what they can do. Crichton's still holding on pretty comfortably at the moment. Melbourne reckons Ford or Bailey's going to try and... Oh, he may potentially even have the win here. He reckons that he'll go for the win, but he's currently sitting behind both the McLarens and his teammate. And look, diving into the pits very early GeForce 40 trying to undercut all these drivers. His tyres are definitely not going to make it to the end, so he is 100% hoping for a safety car. He may be able to jump all these drivers in front of him, but he's going to have to save those tyres like crazy towards the end of the race. Especially that front left, it rode so quickly around this circuit as most of the corners are right-hand turns. It's the wearing side on the car, so he's going to have to really conserve that tyre, is Ford. Let's see how that pans out for him, though. We have seen him do that before coming into the pit very early. But will this make Giannis, Swaggy, and Crichton, respond? Centricity as well, trying to keep with these guys. Just doesn't have the pace of the front three at the moment. He's now got pure gold in that Ferrari right behind him. Ginger's trying to put pressure on that Ferrari. Crossy trying to hold it on as well to DRS on Ginger. We're going to swap this over now to pit stops because the drivers will be starting to come in very shortly. Let's go back with our front runners here. As you can see, will we see any of these drivers coming to the pits? Obviously, Giannis has pit preference at the moment. He comes in, so Swaggy's going to have to stay out. So, unfortunately, that's not ideal there for Swaggy because his teammate came into the pit lane and unfortunately he could not double stack. You'll just lose way too much time. So, unfortunately for Swaggy, he's probably going to drop to the end of that little battle pack there. So he's going to drop down to position 4. Oh, Crichton got held a little bit in the pit lane there. But Giannis comes out in front of him still. You can see, oh, that's a miss for Williams there. Yeah, so Crichton definitely got held in the pit lane there by that Williams car. So, of Crossy, I believe that is. See, he won't be too pleased about that. But look at this Ford. We knew it was always going to work for him. He was always going to undercut at least his teammate. But unfortunately, it hasn't worked for the likes of undercutting Ayana, sorry. There's a battle of the minds here. Who can get that perfect strat? But unfortunately, it's not really going to work out here for the other McLaren driver of Swaggy. He's not in the ideal spot at the moment. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get ahead of his teammate to get pit preference, sorry. And Nozzy has absolutely no faith whatsoever in Ford. But will we see the McLaren come into the pits now? Yes, we do. As you can see, he now enters the pit lane. Oh, he's going to get held here as Swaggy. This is not good. He's been held massively there as a McLaren driver. So unfortunately, he's going to drop way, way down now behind Giannis, Ford and Crichton. And you see, he hasn't even exited pit lane yet. There you go. He's going to drop. Oh, it's not going to be too far behind, actually. I thought it would be worse, but he's actually pretty lucky there to be where he is at the moment. Oh, it's a driver around. Charoux's gone. He's now retired from the race. Could we potentially see the first safety car here of the Spanish Grand Prix? I don't believe we've even had a safety car this whole season, to be honest. So that'd be nice if we actually did have one to bunch up the pack. Really bring in some strategy from the drivers. NSX Fruitful, obviously out at the moment. He started on that hard compound tyre. We'll see him out for quite some time. Miku started on the mediums. Waif started on the mediums, and Aaron started on the hards. Aaron got held up at the beginning of the race, so he's not looking too good at the moment. Giannis still leads away at the moment. He's got a 1.4 second lead over GeForce Ford, sorry. Crichton in position 7. Swaggy, 3-second penalty over pushing that car a little bit. It's very easy to get warnings around the circuit as well. So I don't really blame him. I think most drivers will pick up a penalty this race. But what can Ginger do here? Is he close enough to potentially make a move here on Pure Gold? He will have DRS, but so will Pure Gold. Ferrari driver up into overtake there. Briefly trying to gain. As you can see here, Ginger 82% ERS. That is a lot of ERS he has to utilize in this race, especially at this point in the race as well. So he's doing a really good job at the moment. Let's have a look at Fruitful's ERS as well. He's on 67. Three-second penalty there for the gaming wafer. Let's quickly have a quick look at your time penalty. So NSX Fruitful currently has nothing. Miku has a 3-second penalty, and Gaming Wafer is in the same boat. Aaron is also in the same boat. So Giannis currently has no warnings. Ford has 1 warning. Brighton has no warnings, and Swaggy has a 3-second penalty. So not looking too good for one of the McLarens at the moment, and that McLaren currently sits at the back of that train of Swaggy. We'll quickly run you through your order here as the drivers start lap 11 of the Grand Prix. NSX Fruitful currently leads the way at the moment. Still waiting for himself, Miku, Gaming Wafer, and Aaron to make a pit stop. That is your top 4 at the moment. Then it's Giannis in position 5, who provisionally leads the way at the moment. He leads both these Mercedes of Ford and Crichton, and then Swaggy in position 8 at the moment. Zentricity in position 9, and then rounding out your top 10 at the moment is Pure Gold. F4 Ginger currently down in P11, ahead of Wogboy, Crossy, Todd, and Chapelele. Crossy lost out massively in that pit stop. Not too sure what's happened to him, but he's gone down a massive amount of positions at the moment. Obviously, he's still waiting for the top 4 to make a pit stop in this Grand Prix, but hasn't been ideal for him. He was around where FRO Ginger and Pure Gold was, so he's lost a spot to Wogboy here. The G-Force Todd down in P14, trying to keep with that Williams car. I reckon we'll be out seeing the medium runners coming in very shortly. Around 2-3 laps time, we'll see them coming into the pit lane for a new set of hard tyres. Have a look at our provisional leaders here. Ford's now closing the gap to Giannis here, 0.6 of a second separating the 2 provisional leaders here in the Grand Prix. You see also Crichton starting to close up to the rear of his teammates, so I reckon Crichton will see just sit behind his teammate for a little bit as well. See if his Ford's able to capitalise on Giannis, or if he's not able to, then I reckon we'll see a bit of team orders coming into play here. These 4 still line astern at the moment. They got a 5-second gap at the moment to provisional P5 as Zentricity, so see how this pans out for them all. You can see here both Mercedes really catching up to Giannis. You can see Zach's got 0 ERS at the moment, or Crichton I should say. Swaggy's really trying to catch up now. He'll be wanting these guys to start battling so he can catch up a bit more now. He's probably the furthest away out of these 4. Yellow flags. Zentricity's gone. What's happened to himself? He spun around in turn 1. Did he come into contact potentially with Ginger? Or has he done that himself? But he's lost a lot of positions here, and he's now back down to where his teammate is. Dentricity was on for some really good points here this afternoon, but unfortunately now the Harsh Driver's down in position 13. Fruitful still leads away though at the moment. Oh, look at this. Chapelele's car getting out of the way. This is AI car, but these top four really, really close to each other at the moment. Absolutely nothing between them in pace at the moment. They're getting the absolute maximum amount of cars. What does DRS mean? It's drag reduction system, Reese. So if you watch here, we'll keep on board with Swaggy. Look at their rear wing, or their spoiler, I guess you could call it. See how it opens up there? So that basically allows drivers to gain at least 10, 20 kilometers an hour speed advantage here. And you can see Ford's using that DRS to his advantage, and he's now jumped up ahead. Oh, trying to go for another move there was Crichton, trying to go down the inside of the McLaren, but Ford up into the lead of the, or provisional lead of the Grand Prix here. He's now overtaken the McLaren, so it's currently a Mercedes-McLaren. But anyway, back to that, Reese. If you are within 1 second to the car in front of you, you are able to get DRS. It opens that rear wing in certain sections of the racetrack, or it allows you to open that rear wing and gain about 10, 20 kilometers an hour down the straight. So there's two DRS zones, one on the front main straight and then one heading down the back straight here. What we're coming up to, as you can see on the mini-map on the right-hand side of your screen, where the green bars kind of come up. So we're about to head up to a DRS zone. As you can see in the bottom right hand of your screen, the DRS has a tick there, so that means that these drivers are utilizing that to their advantage. Ginger took you out? Okay. Well, that could be a potential incident there for the stewards to look at post-race. But Ford now, let's see what he can do. Is he able to pull away potentially? Obviously, he has 27% ERS. Giannis has 32. They're all pretty close to each other at the moment. Swaggy, unfortunately, wasn't really able to capitalize, but Miku now into the pit lane. He's coming, put on a new set of tyres. He's actually stayed out a little bit longer than what I thought he would have, so let's see what he can do. He's going into the hard compound of tyre now. Goes Miku. And as you can see, Aaron and Giannis both opt to stay out for a little bit longer, which we did expect. And look at this now, Ford trying to fight back. These guys really getting at it now. They are fighting for positions. There's going to have to be some tyre saving coming up soon, because these guys are going to have to hope for a safety car. There's going to have to be some tyre saving, because that front left does so much work around this circuit. You can have all your tyres, your front right and both your rear tyres at about 40%, and your front left will be at 80%. So a lot of pushing going on here at the moment. Swaggy picks up another 3-second penalty. Not ideal for him, considering he's the only one out of this top four that have penalties. Crichton's made a mistake here. He had to avoid his teammate. Now they're going to run side by side. They make contact. Crichton gone around this and ruined the battle. Crichton, it was too trigger happy on the accelerator, and his race is now gone. He made contact there with Swaggy. From what I've seen there, they believe that was Crichton's fault. He just got too eager on that gas pedal, and unfortunately moved over into Swaggy's line. That's not ideal for either of them, because Swaggy now well out of DRS range to these front two. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was hoping for a really good battle there. As you can see now, it's a two-man race at the moment, assuming there's no safety car. As the Alfa Romeo Miku comes into the pit lane, he is now the second retirement from the Grand Prix. So now it is a two-man race, as I just said, between Ford and Giannis. Hopefully Swaggy's able to catch back up, but Giannis now catching up to the rear of Aaron as well. I'm actually very annoyed now that that kind of happened, because that was going to be a really good race. But let's see if Swag is able to catch up. Potentially a safety car later on in the race as well, which could play into some other drivers' hands. Could see some strategy coming out as well. But look at this battle here. We haven't really had a look at much of this. FRL Ginger currently leads this battle for position 4 at the moment. So yeah, P4 at the moment for Ginger. Then it's Wogboy in position 7, leading Crichton, Crossy, and there's the Red Bull of Todd, who's just outside the top 10. Then it's Pure Gold there as well in position 11. Still waiting for those front two to make a pit stop in this Grand Prix. Still very interested to see, and look at this, Aaron into the pit lane now. So I was going to say, I'm still very interested to see how Aaron and Fruitful go in this race. Fruitful's keeping a really good gap at the moment to Giannis, so he's looking really good at the moment as Fruitful. He will want to come into the pit lane very shortly though, so he can maximise those tyres. What did Aaron opt to go on to go mediums? He did, so he's going to be going to the end of the race now. He's going to come out behind both Haas's, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do here. You have to get ahead of both these Haas cars, battling it out for position 11 at the moment. And also have to try and catch up to the rear of Pure Gold. Fruitful coming to the pits. No, he doesn't, so he's going to stay out for a little bit longer. Yeah, so it doesn't look like Swaggy's really catching up at the moment. It's pretty neutral at the moment between the top two, or provisional top two, are Giannis and Ford, and then Swaggy. So it might potentially start falling into the hands of Ginger, Wogboy, and then maybe Crichton. Let's see what Zach does here. See how hard he pushes actually. See if he tries to get ahead of Wogboy, who is also in the GeForce Academy. Just doesn't have GeForce in his name. One of the Esports drivers. With Giannis, Ford, and Crichton, or Crichton, so Crichton. As now into the pits goes NSX Fruitful, so let's see what he opts to do here. I reckon he might try and go onto the softs potentially. No, he's going into the mediums, so he'll be going into the mediums for the remaining of this race. He will come out, I believe, just at the end of this queue. Probably around where Pure Gold is. Yep, it's going to be very close here. So Fruitful's going to be rapid coming towards the end of this Grand Prix. As you can see, Fruitful P7 now. He's just dropped behind Crichton. So Fruitful's going to be really, really quick coming towards the end of this race. He's going to have so much more grip. Pressure tyres, softer tyres, and just so much more grip. I do agree with you there, Andre. I reckon he's very touch and go at the moment if he's going to make it. So I think that's probably why he's just chilling at the moment behind the likes of Wogboy and Ginger. But I think he might let FRL Ginger go here. You see down the inside goes the... Oh, he locks the inside front there as well as Crichton. Not the inside. It's not the tyre that you want to be locking either, since it is your front left tyre. Hopefully we get a late safety car and everyone jumps on softs. That would be ideal. It would be ideal for us. Sorry, anyway, but it wouldn't be ideal for the likes of Fruitful and Aaron Fruitful might be able to make a move here potentially on Wogboy. Down the inside is going to be pretty textbook from himself, and he gets the move done with ease. Got so much more grip compared to these cars in front of him. I reckon Fruitful might be on for a podium here, to be honest. Considering Swagger's 6 seconds, I reckon he's on for a podium, but these two are now starting to catch up to each other here as Ford and Giannis. Did these two swap positions? I honestly can't remember. I think these two might have swapped positions, to be honest, but yeah, I honestly cannot remember anymore. But this is not good for GeForce Crichton's championship as well. He's got a 22-point lead at the moment over Wogboy, who's not having the best of races at the moment in position 6. Then it's GeForce Swaggy currently in position 3 as well on 32 points, who has not had a win this season yet at all. He's never actually had a win, as I said before, in his league racing career. So let's see if he's able to do anything about that here this afternoon. On lap 22 at the moment. There'll be 9 laps remaining when the drivers cross the line. The gaming wave has gone off, and so has Centricity. Both Haas's made contact there, unless Aaron had something to do with that as well. So let's see here. Fruitful now up ahead of Ginger. Pretty easy move there from himself. Now he's got 4. Oh, Ginger's gone! He just saved that. What a save there from Ginger. I was going to say, hit that curb. He would have been very lucky not to spin. Yeah, you cannot touch that curb. There's 2 ways you can approach that curb. You can either stay well away from it, or you got to drive completely over it. There's no in between with that curb, and unfortunately, Ginger went in between, and he now has lost 2 positions to the Racing Point driver of Wogboy and the Mercedes of GeForce Crichton. But as I said, I reckon Fruitful could be on for a potential podium here. Maybe even if he doesn't stuff around, he could be on for potential P2. Maybe even the win. I don't know. He's just at a purple second sector, so he's going to be absolutely rapid. This is a safety car. I reckon he's got a very, very high chance at winning this race. He did start position 12 as well in this Grand Prix. We didn't even remember, so he could be on for driver of the day here this afternoon as well. But Ford now, gap is 0.7 of a second between himself and that McLaren in front of him of Giannis. 8 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. Sorry. But yeah, Crichton now actually ahead of Wogboy, so let's see what he does here. Obviously, as Andre did point out before in the live chat, he's going to have his tyres a little bit more worn than the others, I reckon. Blew into my teammate. You need to focus on the race, mate. You keep driving, Centricity. Don't worry about talking to me in the chat. It's all good, mate. Worry about finishing the race. You just drive. It's all good, mate. Todd has no chance. I mean, he's in the top 9 at the moment. He's right behind GeForce Crossy, so let's see what he can do. That's a pure gold right behind him, though. Who I believe is on fresher tyres. He is not, actually. Aaron will be coming up soon, though. We'll have to watch that little battle there. These two still battling it out, as you can see. Ford and Giannis. 0.5 of a second. A little bit of tyre saving and conservation is going to have to come in shortly, but as Andre did say in the chat, and as I've said a few times, I reckon that tyres, sorry, I should say Fruitful's got a very good chance at winning this race, actually. He started P12, but it's just such an advantage to have those be starting on the hards or the medium tyres around here. The softs are just not the tyre you need to use, but See, at the moment, Giannis and Ford really won't be feeling the worst of their tyres at the moment. They'll be starting to feel it very shortly, and I reckon we'll start to see them slowing down a little bit here. Just purely to the fact that they need to save tyres. Especially right-hand corners like this, they'll just be trying to go as slow as possible through there. Not down to the fact that they need to save fuel, just more saving that left-hand front tyre, which is the loaded tyre around this circuit. Obviously, this should, in theory, help Swaggy catch up, but mainly this will help Fruitful, who does not need to tyre save at all in this race. Well, at this stage, he does not anyway. Lap 27 of 33 here. In the dying stages of this race now. This is the battle for the lead of the Grand Prix. The thing is, at the moment, that if Ford wants to, he can get ahead of Giannis because he's just got so much more ERS at the moment to utilise, but he currently has bigger problems and more problems to actually just finish a race. That's why I'm saying, and I think Andre's also saying, that Fruitful can actually really win this. It did start position 12 in this Grand Prix. Crichton's still the lead driver of that little battle pack, but he's got a massive question mark next to his name if he's going to actually finish a race on that same set of tyres. Gamey Wafers picked up a 3-second penalty as well, down in position 13. Will we see a move here from Ford? I don't believe he will, so we're going to quickly take this opportunity to double check on everyone's time penalties. Giannis currently on 1 warning. Ford on 2 warnings, so that could get interesting. Swaggy on 6 seconds of penalties and on his last warning, so Fruitful's on nothing. And Crichton is 2 warnings, so Ford's gonna have to be careful here that he doesn't pick up another warning, or that could be the end of his race right there. As Todd picks up a 3-second penalty as well, so fortunately for Toddy, he's now dropped down to position, well, he's in position 9 at the moment, but he's got that 3-second penalty he'll have to owe at the end of the race, so So start lap 29 now of the Grand Prix. 4 laps remaining in the 4th round of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Elite Series Tier 1 League. I don't think Fruitful's really catching up at the rate that he really needs to be at the moment. And Swaggy, another 3-second penalty, so he's definitely going to drop behind Fruitful. So Fruitful, I reckon, at this stage and point in time, I don't know how to say that properly anyway, I reckon Fruitful's on for a guaranteed podium, but I don't know if he'll be able to get up into position 2 or 3. It's going to be really close if he's able to pick up the pace a little bit here. I think that's what he needs to do. Not too much happening at the moment, but Fruitful now nearly within that DRS range, and Swag's actually caught back up now, so he's actually within DRS range now, is Swaggy. So let's see what he can do. The battle obviously for so this obviously is the battle for the lead of the Grand Prix. Look at Ford. Oh, what's happened here? Giannis has a puncture. Does he? Or was he just slowing down? But what's happened here? Giannis is completely just bored. So is he pushing him into Swaggy potentially? But there was definitely a brake check potentially there from Giannis on Ford. But this is now really going to help Fruitful, because Fruitful is now going to try and make a move here potentially on Swaggy. And Ford, is he close enough to make a move here on Giannis? No, he's not. So I reckon there's playing a little bit of cat and mouse here. Oh, and Fruitful now trying to get a move done on Swag. He's going to have that better grid. Can he hang it around the outside? Yes, he can. Up into third spot now goes Fruitful. Really good move there from himself, but I don't think that was a smart thing there from Giannis, because now Fruitful's going to be right on them. If these two get a penalty, Giannis and Ford, he's going to be handed the win, but at the moment Fruitful's got so much more grip and pace than what Ford and Giannis does, so not too sure what Giannis' thinking was there, but he definitely did not at all try to accelerate out of turn 12. As you can see now, Fruitful can just carry so much more speed through the corners than what these two can. We're about to head on to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Can Fruitful take the win? This is going to be stand-up finish here. Can Fruitful do anything about Ford? Fortunately, Ford's got a lot of ERS to utilise. He's been saving it up, so this is going to make it a little bit harder for Fruitful, but this is the section where he will excel, because he'll have so much more grip compared to Ford and Giannis. 5-second penalty there for Crossy speeding in the pit lane, so he's trying to go for fastest lap. Here is the Williams driver. He's trying to take it off whoever has it, and I'll be able to tell you who has it. It is currently no one, apparently. 17,626, 17,476, 17,365. So I believe, yeah, so it is Fruitful at the moment who has that fastest lap, but it's weird that it's not doing that. It's not purple, but look at this now. This is going to be a really, really close battle here. We're about to head on to the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got Fruitful, who's got the freshest tyres out of anyone here. He doesn't have the most DRS. Ford wants this win. Giannis is going to go for his second win this season if he's able to do this. Actually, no, Giannis has not won yet this season. But can he do it? He's actually only scored points once this season as Giannis. And he's only actually finished one race this season as Giannis. So Ford is now really going to be pushing here. Ford has not scored a podium at all this season. So this will be his first podium. And Fruitful has scored a podium, but he hasn't scored his first win this season. As you can see, Giannis defends the inside line. Fruitful's really backed off here, so as his tyres died off, what can Ford do here? He's got a little bit of VRS trying to dive down the inside. Was Ford there? Giannis left in the room, but he's going to be able to hold on to it. This is the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. Absolutely no penalties are coming into play here for the top three. You can see they head through the second sector now. Let's go on board with Fruitful. He has the best seat in the house. Down the back straight now. Can Ford do a dive bomb on Giannis? Giannis defends the inside line. Ford goes to the racing line. He's going to try and do the under and over here, potentially. Giannis really trying to back up Ford here. Well, he is really backing up Ford and Fruitful. Final sector now. No overtaking opportunities here. And it looks like if Giannis can get through this final corner now, looks like he has. Giannis through the final corner now. He is going to take the Spanish Grand Prix here this afternoon. Fruitful jumps forward in the end. Ford got a penalty. I didn't even realize that. So Fruitful up in a position 2 for Renault. What a result there from himself. 11 spots he made up in this Grand Prix. Congratulations to himself and the Renault F1 team. Then it will be both the Mercedes of Ford and Crichton in the end. Crichton still managed to get P4. So good result result, I guess, a little bit of a comeback there from himself. Efero and Ginger will come home position 5 for Alpha and Mayo. Then it'll be Wogboy Swaggy, unfortunately, with all those penalties, has dropped him down to position 7. Then it'll be the 2 Red Bulls of Todd, leading Aaron in position 8 and 9. The Renegade top 10 will be the reserve driver of Pure Gold. Can Crossy get the fastest lap of the race? He doesn't. He got a 5-second penalty, actually. Which I don't know if he did. Let's have a quick look. He said a 16-1, so he did get the fastest lap of the race. So forward. So Crossy will... actually, no, he wasn't in the top 10, so he won't be able to take that extra point home. But he takes it off NSX Fruitful. But what an end to the Grand Prix there. Chaplele has the fastest... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's all bugged. What a race there at the end. We're going to get some post-race interviews without a doubt from the drivers. Congratulations to our top 3 podium getters there. McLaren, Renault and Mercedes F1 team. As you can see now on your screens, provisional results here for the 4th round of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Pacific Series Tier 1 League. G-Force Giannis takes the win. First win of the season as well. Congratulations to himself. NSX Fruitful takes his first podium of the season as well. His second podium of the season. His second P2 as well. So really good job there from himself, considering he started position 12 in this Grand Prix, so really good job from himself there. And Ford takes his first podium of the season as well. Then it's Crichton, Ginger, Wogboy, Swaggy, Todd, Aaron, Pure Gold, Crossy, Zentricity, and Gaming Wafer rounds out your top 13 and finishes. Then it's Chaplele, Miku, and Sharu, who unfortunately did not finish the race. We'll be back with you shortly for some post-race interviews. Stick around, and we'll be back in a moment. So here we have our top 3 from the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Elite Series Tier 1 League. We have, unfortunately, Giannis still does not have a microphone, so he's unable to talk to us, but we do fortunately have NSX Fruitful, GeForce Ford, and then also joining us, who finished position 4 in the race, and also bottled a potential win, GeForce Crichton. So thank you guys for joining us. Let's start with you, Fruitful. Obviously, started position 12 in the race. Were you expecting to even get up onto the podium?
Well, I knew it was a good strategy that it was on. The hards felt really good, especially till the end, so I could really push on them. And then I saw the gap between me and Ginger just gaining and gaining. So I knew I was in a good position when I went off my hard. So wasn't expecting it before the race though.
And unfortunately there as well, wasn't able to get yourself actually ahead of both those drivers in front of you, the McLaren of Giannis, and then also, I believe it was Ford in the end of the race there. But yeah, really good job there from yourself. Did you just not have the pace at the end of the race, or did your tyres go off and it just kind of forced you not to be able to pass those two in front?
Yeah, it's super difficult to pass around here, so there are only 2 opportunities, real opportunities, and when the Mercedes in front, don't know who it is, he had slipstream and DRS, so I just couldn't do anything, even with the tire advantage.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations there, mate. Really good job there from yourself, and I believe you did also get driver of the day, so congratulations there. Move on to you now, Ford.
Thank you.
Obviously, just finished on the podium, your first podium, I believe, of the season, if I'm correct. It is your first podium, so best position up before that was 4th, so hopefully you can move that up a few positions next week at the Baku Grand Prix. But talk us through your race. Obviously, qualified on the second row of the grid, started position 4. Mercedes second row lockout, but then also McLaren front row lockout, which was really good to see. But battling really hard there in that race, but unfortunately just didn't come to you.
Yeah, I got P2 on track. I don't know why it dropped me down to P3. There were no penalties between us. I think it's just Codemaster's timing glitch. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll have another look at it, but I think I should get P2 in there. Yeah, it was going to be a race of, I guess, just following the car ahead, and yeah, that's what I was trying to do to Revolution or Giannis all race, and I was going to try attack him in the final couple of laps, but no, he just defended really well, and yeah, I couldn't get around him. He had good straight line speed. It's a shame what happened to Zach. He didn't actually bottle it. What you're saying, he got nudged by Swaggy, so. Yeah, P2, I guess, and then or P3. Hopefully it's P2. Yeah, it's a good performance, I suppose, and I think Baku's next, so we'll move to there, and hopefully we can continue this form.
Yeah, it's really good form there from yourself and the Mercedes team, but we'll now move on to the driver that I thought, from what I saw, it looked like that you bottled it. It looked like that.
Wow, thank you.
It looked like that you just accelerated too much and then went off in the Swaggy's line. But anyway, talk us through what happened in that incident. That's obviously going to be one of the main questions that I'm going to ask you. So talk us through what happened.
Yeah, just for me, I just went in slightly too deep there, then switched it back. Swaggy had a slight run, and then, yeah, I think he hit my back wheel, and yeah, that set me around, but no, that was fine. I was happy to, yeah, come back in P4, so not too much damage. Luckily, no front wing damage as well, so I was lucky to salvage that race quite nicely. But yeah, I was really enjoying that battle up the front there with the boys. It was, yeah, not too bad. Like, it's hard to pass around here, but I felt like there might have been a fair few crazy passes on the last few laps there, especially with Fruitful coming up. But yeah, eyes forward now to Baku, I believe, so that should be quite interesting.
It is Baku. We'll move back to you actually, 40, because I have another question for you. Just obviously pitting on lap 6 of the Grand Prix, which is, I believe, very early, especially if you're going onto the hard and you started on the soft. So talk us through your thinking there. Were you expecting to be pitting that early in the race?
I did the same on Tuesday night for the Pacific Series, and I made it alright. So, yeah, I was just going to do the same here. I was also 4th in line, pretty much, in that little train. So I had to try something to try, yeah, jump up ahead of the 2 cars, which I ended up doing. I then came out 2nd in the train. So, yeah, it was just a matter of, you know, trying something different. And, yeah, it was pretty beneficial to me in the end. So I'm thankful I did it, and I was pretty lucky not to get a puncture.
Well, good job there to yourself, mate. We'll go back to you now, Fruitful. Obviously, at the beginning of the race, didn't really have as much pace, but you obviously did start on the hards, but you also, I feel like you're actually doing pretty good as well to keep with the soft tyre runners. So talk us through how you were going trying to get through all that mid-pack.
Well, I just tried to stay with the soft runners at the start. It was pretty easy to stay with them because the big train was there. So I could just chill behind them. Eventually they pitted, so I could just drive away.
Yeah. Congratulations to yourself there, mate. Congratulations to you guys on your results, except for Zach because he finished P4. So thank you guys for joining us for some post-race interviews. My name is Lachlan, and I will see you guys next time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Cheers.